particularly in the economy today, it's easy to get caught up in your financial worries or get caught up in the fact that you lost your job and that's part of your identity, and in struggling and pride and the stigma of losing your social status and all kinds of things like that.
Coping with these issues affects people's mental health. It has been reported that suicide rates in the United States have risen, and although the reasons are unknown, there's a major concern it is directly linked to the state of the economy.
We've seen a 70% increase in suicide-related calls since last July, and we've also seen the kinds of calls that we're getting become much more serious. We're having to work with emergency services more often than we did.
According to the American Psychology Association, 8 out of 10 Americans feel that the economy is a major source of stress in their lives.
Well, we're talking to people about unemployment and money worries all day, every day, much more than we have in the past. Our concerns about finances is up over 40% right now, and people are worried about losing their jobs, about how they're going to keep a roof over their head and food on their plates for their family.
The data is not precise and the reasons are not clear, but it seems like unemployment is a big factor and that it goes along with the increased suicide rate.
Go from, living at a fairly high standard of living to all of a sudden not knowing where you're going to turn and how you're going to stay in your home, and not having the place to go every day that's been maybe your social network. It's really hard on people. It's really tough on their self-identity. And we know that losing self-identity is a real risk factor for suicide, because you have to go through a whole process of growing and redefining yourself, and that's hard to do.
But turning for help might not be an option for most, at a time where many are uninsured and those with insurance might not be covered for mental health. Since most insurance companies provide less coverage for psychological and mental health disorders than for physical ones, and the available services are facing cuts in their funds.
In our own case, we've certainly seen the impact from the economy on corporate giving and foundation giving. Foundations in particular, because they give based on their stock portfolios, have seen the amount of funds that they can distribute significantly reduced. And corporations, some of them are facing some pretty serious challenges, so they've had to pull back. So it is a very challenging time for crisis centers.
Dr. Power, are we assuming, because it stands to reason and appears pretty logical, that there's been an uptick in mental health problems? Or is this a measurable thing that we can define and observe and have some real evidence to make some conclusions on?
I think we're all experiencing across our communities, in our families, across the states, certainly a demonstration that there is a high level of anxiety, a high level of stress, and I think a sense of concern across America. And I think part of that is attributed to the certain economic conditions that we are experiencing right now. So I think there is a balance between the normal experiences of mental health and mental illnesses and substance abuse, but I think it is coupled with a heightened level and a heightened awareness and a heightened sensitivity that people are troubled. And particularly people are troubled by the fact that they're worried about, will they have a job tomorrow? If they are unemployed, they're worried about when they will be reemployed. If they are concerned about the mortgage payment on their house, they're worried about foreclosures for themselves or in their neighborhood. So there is a heightened sense of concern, and I think that is driving the issues related to what do we do about mental health care and substance abuse care.